Hey, there we go. So good evening. It's Monday, September 26th. This is the Capital Planning Committee, and we're meeting fully remote via Zoom. In accordance with the requirements of the open meeting law, please be advised that this meeting is being recorded and will be uploaded to the Lunenburg Access YouTube after the meeting. The following information is provided for members of the public that would like to participate in the meeting remotely. To participate remotely from a computer, please use the link below to join the public meeting. The link is listed on the calendar and the agenda, //US02 web.zomm.us /90917403447. To use the phone, the toll-free number is 888-475-4499. No participant ID is needed. Just press pound when asked. Telephone users may dial *9 to request to speak after joining the meeting. Computer and app users may use the raise hand feature to request to speak. The agenda lists all the topics which may be discussed at the meeting and are those reasonably anticipated by the chair. Votes may be taken as a result of these discussions. Not all items listed may in fact be discussed, and other items not listed may also be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by open meeting law. First of all, I'd like to do a roll call just to make sure that we've got audio communication with everybody. Mr. Alonso?
Here.
Mr. Martin?
Here.
Mr. Beardmore?
Here.
Mr. Brenner?
Here.
And I guess I can hear myself, so we're all on board. Okay, so I called the meeting to order and then read the agenda, the Zoom preamble here. So we're into our next very important item. This evening, at least for the next few minutes, with the departure of our previous chair, I am operating as acting chair, as having been the vice chair previously. And I would like to get into reorganization of the committee as the first order of business. I guess we'll do it in the normal order that most committees do it. I'll open nominations for chair.
I nominate Dave Passios for chair.
Okay, I've got a nomination for myself. Is there a second for that nomination?
I'll second.
Thank you, Peter. Peter's second. I actually would like to nominate Tom Alonso. So I'm going to put that in as a formal nomination, and I guess we'll have a vote off or something. We'll see how this goes, assuming there's a second.
Sure, I'll second.
Okay, thank you. I have a second. So honestly, I've never seen us handle one of these, especially on Zoom. But I guess I'll take the two nominations in order. And it will be an aye for the name we're voting for.
Hey, Dave,
Yeah, go ahead.
might I suggest some discussion before we vote?
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. I tend to push things along to get it over with, but you are very much correct. So I'll open up discussion. I do have a couple of comments myself, but I'd like to hear from the rest of the committee first.
I was leading to a question of who wants to be chair, but that
Yeah,
may be the most
and
obvious question.
I will make my comments, and I believe Tom will also. Anybody else like to speak before I do?
So, I mean,
I think other comments might be in order after you and I say whatever we're going to say, which I'm now making up in my mind as we talk.
Yeah, okay. For myself, honestly, I would prefer, if Tom's willing, for Tom to take the chair's seat. I would appreciate staying as vice chair, but that would be up to the vote of this committee. As some of you know, my return to the workforce last fall has extended out through this coming winter and will end sometime next spring. So to attend meetings, I've already set it up with the company I'm working for, that I will be leaving the premises for our meetings. Fortunately, they're okay with it, and I'm only 6 minutes from the center of town. So for the most part, I'll be able to attend, I would guess, 99% of the meetings. But I do have, an awful lot going on, and Parks is going to be extremely busy through the next year to year and a half. Those are my comments.
So I will say that, it wasn't a position that I sought after, but I will be willing to do it now that I do have the daunting task of being vice chair of the select board, which has numerous non-responsibilities. So, but sure. I would be willing to do it for the season, given what you just said, Dave, and in lack of somebody else wanting to be chair, I would certainly do it.
Okay. Correct me if this would be inappropriate, but can I ask George to withdraw his nomination and the second?
Well, I think you can withdraw your own nomination.
Well, that's true.
Feel
too.
unwilling to do it.
I didn't say yay or nay either way when I was nominated. So
to be honest, I'm happy to have either of you folks be the chair. Both of you bring a lot of experience among many boards, and I find that for the most part, I don't know the other people in the room on the session, but you guys seem to be pretty well versed as to what's going on in town. And I take myself out of that conversation because I don't do a very good job of knowing what's going on in town. And unfortunately, I don't see a lot of it in the newspaper anymore. So so that's kind of my position. I'm happy with anybody who wants to do it. I know I don't want to do it.
I will also withdraw my second if you're going to withdraw your motion, George.
George, your last comment I didn't hear.
You want me to repeat that?
No, I said I would withdraw my second if you withdraw your motion, George, so we can.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I withdraw my motion. Thank you.
Okay, so I move to close nominations. We'll do a quick roll call on that. George? This is just to close nominations. This is not to elect.
Okay. So I'm sorry, what would you like me to do? Say I
Yay or
approve?
nay?
You're okay with closing nominations?
Oh, okay. Yay.
Okay. Peter?
Yes.
Matt?
Aye.
Tom?
I
And I for myself. Okay, next on the agenda would be to elect a chair. Mr. Alonso has been nominated. Do a roll call vote. George?
Yay.
Matt?
Aye.
Peter?
Aye.
Mr. Alonso?
I'll abstain.
And I for myself. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, I guess my question at this point, and I don't care which way you want to go with it, the remaining agenda item is scheduling.
Well, you
So-
still have to do the clerk and the vice chair.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. That got the biggest,
And
that
the real,
got
the
the
real
biggest
issue,
concern off my shoulders, so.
I'll preempt a question, since I was not prepared for this. I did not print out the agenda. So if
Yeah.
you would run the rest of the meeting, since I don't have the agenda in front of me, that
Okay.
would be helpful.
I have no problem with that whatsoever.
Thank you.
Now I'd like to open nominations for vice chair. Sorry for trying to skip
I'll
over.
nominate Dave Passios.
I'll second.
Okay, any other nominations? Okay, I declare nominations closed, which is the way I could have done it the last time instead of going through the roll call again. Where did you go, right, Peter? Okay, with nominations closed, Vice Chair Dave Passios, George,
Yay.
Peter,
Aye.
Matt,
Aye.
and Tom.
Aye.
And I for myself. Okay, finally, clerk for the committee. I'm not sure that I passed on the information, and I'm sorry I forgot to do so. But we do have a minutes clerk for our meetings. It escapes me what her name is, and I would have to chase back through my emails right at the moment to get it. But Heather had notified me a week or so ago that we do have, someone to take care of our minutes. So the clerk's job would be, in the event that either our clerk or minutes clerk is not able to do minutes going forward at any point during our process in the next 3 months, the clerk would take over those responsibilities. I get a feel that Heather's fairly confident that we'll have her on board through our whole process, which we should be done with by early to mid-December. So is there, I guess I'll open it to nominations and any interest at the same time.
Do we have a standing clerk?
No, that was Paula.
Tom, I don't believe we did we?
No, we did. I thought Paula was.
No.
Oh, that's right, she was. That's right. I still need to chase her down for information. So we did have a clerk in the past.
I'd be happy to do it.
Well, with that information, I will nominate Peter Beerboy.
That's
That's very helpful to have that information, Peter. Thank you.
a tough campaign right there.
Yep. I'll
Can I
second.
Okay, thank you, Matt. Okay, so I've got a nomination second. I declare nominations closed for clerk. We'll vote on that now. George,
Aye.
Tom,
Aye.
Matt,
Aye.
Peter,
Aye.
and I for myself. Okay, now that I believe does complete the reorganization. Excuse me, and as requested by the chair-elect, I will finish up this meeting and he will take over from there. Okay, our next agenda item is to talk about the schedule moving forward. October 13th is when the department heads are scheduled as a deadline to turn in their submissions. It's all going to be pretty much electronic this year. So the information that we need should be able to be generated fairly quickly. In past years, capital planning has met the week after, during the week after that the submissions came in. If we stay on Mondays, oops, I got to flip it over because I made one other list also. If we stay on Mondays, that would mean meetings October 17th, October 24th, October 31st, November 7th. We would skip November 14th, special town meeting is on the 15th. November 21st, we could discuss that. That's Thanksgiving week. November 28th, December 5th, and December 12th, if we go that far. So those are the Mondays. One comment I will make is that I did ask the administrative assistant for the Board of Health to discuss with the Board of Health use of the downstairs meeting room at Ritter on the Mondays that they have a meeting, in that that room is supposed to be up and ready to go as of, I thought, this week, but I haven't got confirmation yet, with the big screen and very easy to use for Zoom without, I believe, without requiring a camera person to be there. So that would be my preference, is to use that room. The Board of Health did discuss it this past Monday night. And they are willing to acquiesce for the meetings that overlap with theirs, and they will move to the upstairs meeting room.
So the meeting room you're talking about is not the one we met in last year. You're talking about the downstairs one, right?
Correct.
Okay.
We've just installed some new video equipment in Ritter, haven't we?
Yeah, that's in that downstairs.
That's
the
it.
downstairs room, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it looked well set up last Thursday night when I was down there.
Yeah, the only thing I haven't heard as to whether it's been tested with a meeting or not, but I'll try to get some information in the near future, or Tom, maybe you can have a conversation with Heather. Was pretty much on top of what was going on there.
Okay, well, I'll be speaking with her probably tomorrow anyway, so I will bring it up.
Okay, the only other thing I was going to throw out, and I did actually put all the dates down on the backside of my piece of paper here, is that with a slight change in membership, I could be wrong, but I think Wednesdays are available also. Any of you guys correct me if I'm wrong?
The only issue with Wednesdays is the school committee has been going earlier than the 7 o'clock meeting time that most of the other committees conform to. So it may be a good thing or a bad thing. I'm not sure, but it may cause me to have to be out by 6 or 6:30.
I think last year we did them on Tuesdays. There were several meetings that I had to run out very immediately because I had the selectmen. If everybody on this call can do Mondays would seem to be the best. We could really give it the attention. I mean, I'm not looking to lengthen the meetings, but I don't like to, just to abbreviate them because we've scheduled badly and then we can't make it up. So
Mondays are hard in that the planning board meets at 6 o'clock.
oh, so you okay? So planning board.
Yeah.
Planning board moved up their time, and that's what kind of concerned me about Mondays. And,
Yeah.
I had a brief conversation with
The
Matt.
problem is these boards that tend to go 3.5 hours. It's
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and I discussed it with Heather 2 or 3 weeks ago, and she said, Dave, no matter what you do, even with a 3-member board, you're going to have somebody that's going to have a conflict. So I don't know what the answer is. Do we just schedule the next couple and then see how we feel about it? I mean, we could bounce between Mondays and Wednesdays as we go through the schedule. I was kind of hoping we'd just stay with Mondays at 5 o'clock and do the best we could with it.
Well, 5 is tough for me because again, I'm signing out early. 5:30 as we did last year. That was like the lowest bar. That's the best I can do because I have to,
Right.
otherwise I have to sign out early every Monday, which
Yeah.
isn't going to look well. So.
And is the just to kind of get all the cards on the table, the planning board meets every Monday?
Meets every other Monday, 2 Mondays a month, effectively.
And
I never remember which it is because it just shows up on my calendar and I go, oh, this is a meeting.
oh,
Looks like the 2nd and 4th Monday.
okay, so for what it's worth, I'm just throwing these ideas out here to try to come up with something amenable.
Mhm.
The school committee meets on the first and third Wednesdays. So if we were potentially to go to a rotation where we were to do, you know, the
Monday, the following Wednesday,
the
Monday.
first Wednesday, the first Monday, the following Wednesday, and vice versa, it may give us clearance.
Well, that works for me.
That would be great.
And that's why I brought Wednesday up, because I knew there was, of the 5 days of the week, Friday, nobody wants to meet. And Monday we had pretty clear, but Wednesday seemed to be, and I'm very amenable with that also. I mean, like, I'm only a short distance away, and I'm kind of
So we could go Monday, the 17th, and then of course the long months tend to screw things up, but Monday the 17th, Wednesday the 26th, Monday the 31st,
Mhm.
Wednesday the 9th, Monday the 14th, Wednesday the 23rd.
Monday, the 14th is a planning board meeting.
Well,
So if we
October or
can't, we
November?
can't.
What are we talking about? November?
November.
November.
Well, I don't think we're gonna have one because the next day is going to be the special town meeting.
Oh,
anyway.
right.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that week
Yeah.
we're off, right.
So then we could go Monday, the 20. I think we're probably both, but we could probably get.
How about we
ourselves
plan
on
it
a
out?
cadence
Let's
and-
plan it out a month in advance, and
Yeah.
then in the middle of the month we'll start looking ahead. That'd be
I think
I'm
that's
cool with
right.
that.
I think that's the right thing to do, because as I'm looking at my calendar, I think I'm missing some school committee meetings too. So, okay,
So the most important one is that the October the 17th is going to be the next meeting
great.
at 5:30.
5:30.
And I'll check with Heather if that meeting room that Dave has suggested at the lower meeting room where the Board of Health meets, if that's available for us and everything is in working condition. Because we definitely, one of the biggest feedback issues last year was that they weren't recorded. So whatever the case, I'll bring my laptop, and in case I have to record it live, just record it and then post it. But Zoom would be a whole lot better.
Just so I get my calendar thoughtfully, about how long do the meetings typically run?
We try to finish in under 2 hours.
Great. Okay. I just want to have a rough idea as I kind of plan out and stake out family time. Thank you.
We have, it'll be known in advance which departments are going to be presenting to us. So when it comes to the big departments like the school, they'll get the whole time themselves. It also depends on what's on their list of items they want to, recommend what they're asking for. So the larger they ask, then the more time they'll need. But generally the schools and DPW, because DPW takes care of town. Now it'll be DPW and facilities director will be presenting. Those are usually the biggest asks because they have the most facilities and those are the largest projects. Public safety, they usually both go together in the same evening.
Mhm.
Then we have, then we'll have general government for the town and other ancillary departments.
I may have, I'm just looking at the calendar. On the 31st, I may have an unavoidable conflict, but of family time, but we'll see, and we'll probably still have quorum then anyway. So,
And they'll be recorded, so you'll be able to.
yeah,
If there's any major votes, we can delay them until the whole board is there, but at least we can have the meeting and record it, and you can catch up on it.
perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so we've got October pretty well sorted out, and the consensus is that we'll see how it goes going forward. The only thing will be that Heather may be looking for a little bit more guidance as she schedules which departments are coming in when, so that she knows they don't have a conflict with the date we're meeting, or vice versa. They'll need to know what our meeting dates are going to be, or she will anyway as she schedules it.
But one of the things I'm going to ask is to try to get the bigger departments going first, because a lot of times questions are asked at those meetings by the committee, and I don't want to run out of time, which what happened a little bit last year, and we didn't get the answer. So I want them to go first. The smaller departments have less things to answer for, and the projects they're looking for are generally smaller.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
All right. So Tom, you're gonna work with Heather on that?
I will let her know what the votes were, who the new, who the 3 offices are, and when the next date is, and then I'll work with her and start getting the rest of the structure together. Yeah.
Okay. The only note that I have as I look at this, and I do have some business travel in early November, but the 17th, I can be there, but I may be a few minutes late. I'm also the official videographer for the Lunenburg High School football team, and there's a JV game in Clinton that afternoon, so I'll be racing back from Clinton.
Okay. Well, that'll be the first meeting we'll have, so it's going to be more of a, it'll be a looser meeting. They're not going to have presentations. I don't think.
Yeah, that'll be basically to, I'm assuming that we're going to receive pretty much everything electronically, but it will be to a first very quick pass to go over what
Right.
we do receive.
Okay. Are we going to have a discussion specifically about the ranking or system that we're using and how we're going to go about doing that and that kind of thing? Are we going to have a dedicated discussion around that?
Yeah, Tom, unless you disagree, I think we usually talk about that at that first meeting once we kind of have a list and know how many items we're going to be prioritizing. I mean, if we want to, I'm hoping, like I say, to keep this meeting relatively short.
Right.
But I think that would definitely be an appropriate agenda item for the next meeting, and sort that out as to what we've done in the past and what we might want to do differently going forward.
Yep. Yeah, with 2 new members, yeah, I think it's probably a good idea.
Yep.
Especially since the one meeting we had right prior to this, we talked about it a little bit, but neither of you were on it. I mean, you meaning Peter and Matthew, neither of you were on that call, and weren't on the committee last year. So I think it's really going to be necessary for at least a guidance point of view, and then we can try to dig into it. As much as people want to, just so they understand it, and if they have recommendations, certainly we can discuss that.
It'll be important for Heather, if she can make that meeting, to kind of run us through the adjustments that she made to the Collins process.
Yep.
Which we discussed at that first meeting, and any other changes that are in place. There are. I'm assuming that you guys all saw the letter that came from Heather. If not, I will forward it to you.
Yeah, I saw it. It's difficult to put it in the right context without the
Right.
experience. So.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, we'll make sure that's the first item we'll do in the next meeting is review that. Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, if we're done with that for the time being, I realize now that I have the agenda up in front of me, I did skip over other business if anybody has anything. And then action items for next meeting. I think we've kind of discussed what the next meeting is probably going to entail. So if there are any other comments under either one of those categories, I'm open to them now.
My only comment is if you could adjust your camera so we're actually looking at your face and not your shirt.
Sorry about that. I do that so often because I have another screen behind this that I'm
Gotcha.
looking at.
All right.
Sorry about that. I did that one night with it folded all the way down, and for 45 minutes, the other board members thought I had collapsed to the floor. So I apologize.
So from the new members, from Matthew and Peter, is there anything else other than the review process and the scoring that come to mind that you'd like to be on next meeting?
That's all for me so far. I have a decent idea having spoken with Paula very briefly in the past of what happens, but I'll have much more thoughts as I see the action playing out over the course of my first year.
Okay, cool. And of course, if you have anything between now and the 17th, please, anybody, do not hesitate to email me. Everybody here is on another board or has been on another board. So, please be cognizant of the open meeting law, so no serial emails and all that stuff. But if you have questions about what's on the agenda, feel free to just contact me or another member, just to be aware.
Great. If we're done with those discussions, last item before adjourning is public comment. Any public comment from the committee, first of all?
I'd like to welcome aboard the two members. I look forward to an interesting capital planning season. They're all interesting, of course, but it's always nice to have new members and new perspectives.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to
Thank
be
you.
here.
Yeah, welcome both of you. Because Peter and I have a history of a few years going back, so it should definitely be interesting. And I will open it to the public, but I do not see any public. Let me make sure that
Yeah, we're lacking the part of the public comment that makes the public comment possible, I think.
right. Just double checking just to make sure that the participant count down at the bottom was correct, and it was. Seeing no public, I open up for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Seconds.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Roll call vote. George,
Aye.
Peter,
Aye.
Matt,
Aye.
Tom,
Aye.
and I for myself. Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.